Hey everybody, it's Jennifer with GetYourCreditPerfectNow.com, and I want to do this quick video for you today to talk to you about how to get a business loan fast. There are a number of ways that you can qualify for a business loan, and I'm going to talk to you about some specific ways that you can go about doing that. One of the things that you want to keep in mind is that how the methodology that you would use to get a business loan will vary depending on whether or not you are a startup, if you are a business that has been around for more than a year or much longer, will determine what type of loan that you will actually qualify for. So what I'm going to do is actually start off by talking to you about an option that we have that is very, very simple to get qualified for. There is absolutely no income documentation that is required, which is huge for individuals that are startups or are just trying to figure out maybe just don't have all the documentation that's required in order to get a traditional business loan. So this particular product is actually called our Freedom Funding Program. And under this program, you can actually receive anywhere between $25,000 to $125,000 plus in unsecured revolving credit lines in as little as 7 to 14 business days. Now, this particular program is something that I'm really, really proud of because, again, it is a program that allows you to get recurring or shall I say revolving credit lines, which means that you'll actually be able to draw money off of this particular line without taking all of the money as a lump sum all at once. When you get a loan and you take all the money at once, then your payment becomes due immediately. With a revolving credit line, you actually will be able to not have any type of payments until you actually draw on that particular line. And say you only need $10,000 or $15,000 of your available line, you can do that and pay back only that amount. So that is definitely very exciting. So this program is perfect for startups, small business owners, entrepreneurs, real estate investors, trucking companies, and anyone else who wants to obtain unsecured revolving lines of credit with no income qualification necessary. So because I'm going to be talking about a variety of our programs, I'm not going to go super deep into depth, but I do want to give you a quick overview of how the program works. Phase one is that we apply for unsecured lines on your behalf. These lines are going to be generally between zero, they're generally going to be 0% interest for a period of 18 to 24 months. Now, I want you to know, obviously, this is huge. The vast majority of business owners, when they're first getting started, would that would make a huge difference in your bottom line and your ability to scale if for the first year to year and a half you did not have any interest that was due on your particular line. That is a huge benefit of this particular program. Not all of the lines have 0% interest, but the vast majority do. So that is something to keep in mind. This program is, again, it's 100% credit based and it's stated income. So you do not have to produce any income documentation in order to qualify for this program. So that is the first phase. It does require a 680 credit score in order to qualify. Phase two is that we help you to build out your business credit profile. One of the biggest things or the biggest ways to leverage and get as much funding for your business as possible is to start building out your business credit exclusively under your EIN number. That is not personally guaranteed by you. That is what we will actually work with you on doing during phase two. We'll actually help you to get up to an 80 paydex score, and it's generally within a period of 90 to 120 days. We insist in the whole process, including getting your business entity set up, making sure that you're compliant, obtaining initial tier 1 net 30 accounts, obtaining tier 2 store accounts, obtaining tier 3 unsecured revolving cash lines. So this process will give you even more funding than you got in the initial phase 1. Phase 3 is where we optimize your personal credit. You'll actually be able to work with us. Obviously, when you're applying for credit in the initial stages, you will see your credit score take a bit of a dip because you are also not only getting inquiries on your credit report, but you're also presumably using up the lines of credit as well. So we will work with you to help you to keep your score as high as possible and position you for the highest scores so that we can actually go back and send you through for additional rounds of funding. We also will give you ongoing education on how you can master your credit, improve your score, uh, save money on your taxes, and just increase your overall financial profile. The best part of this particular program is that it is zero money out of pocket. All fees are paid on the back end of this particular um, transaction. So there is no out-of-pocket expense to participate in the Freedom Funding Program. So again, the program qualifications are that you need to have at least a 680 credit score, no recent collections or lates within the past 6 months, no more than 6 inquiries within the past 6 months, a current high limit trade lines or credit cards on your credit profile of at least $10,000 plus. If you do not have high limit trade lines on your credit, we can actually help you. We do offer authorized user trade lines, and we can help you to not only boost your credit score with those trade lines, but also boost the amount of credit that you'll actually qualify for. You need to have no more than 45% utilization on any individual credit card that you have. So if you have a credit card that is $10,000 for example, you can have no more than a $4,500 balance on that particular card. So just keep that in mind. Under 45% utilization on any individual card. There are no upfront fees again, and there is a guaranteed funding minimum of at least $25,000 once you are pre-qualified. So if you are interested in getting pre-qualified for this program, you can actually go to our site and do that, but I will have the link on how to do that below this video. Our other options in terms of getting funding for your business are more traditional, and they do require that you're able to show financials. Additionally, you need to have at least 1 year worth of history within your business, and I'll talk to you a little bit about these different options. The first option is our term loans. With a term loan, you need to have at least a 680 credit score, and they generally will approve you for up to 20% of your annual gross revenue. So if you are making, well, let me not say that, not annual. I'll say if you are making $20,000 a month, they will approve you for 20% of that. Okay, so, and I'm sorry, it is annual. I apologize. The benefits of this particular product is that the interest rate starts at 5.5%, so it's a pretty nice interest rate. Your terms are anywhere between 1 to 5 years. They offer monthly payment options. There's no prepayment penalty. You can get funding in as little as 5 to 10 days, and funding amounts go anywhere between $50,000 all the way up to $500,000. Again, the requirements are that you have at least a 680 credit score, no bankruptcy in the past 7 years, your net income on your tax returns are reviewed, and you must have at least one of the 2 past years of tax returns being in profitability. You need to have a minimum of 3 years in business, no sole proprietorships, And those are the main highlights of that particular program. So let's talk about your SBA loans. Again, with your SBA, these are government insured loans, which means that they're a little bit more flexible. It also means that you will be able to qualify generally for a higher amount if you actually do qualify. The interest rate for these particular SBA products range anywhere between 6.25 and 7.25%. Um, there is, you can actually use this particular product or SBA loan to purchase real estate that will be used for your business purposes. The terms on your SBA loans are 10 years, which means that your repayment amount will be a bit less. They do have monthly payments, no prepayment penalty, and again, you can use the funds for purchasing real estate that is for business purposes. You can get funding in as little as 7 days if all of the paperwork is submitted right away. And if you don't have all the paperwork at hand, typically it can take anywhere from a month to a month and a half. The requirements are, again, 680 credit score. You need to have sufficient business and personal cash flow to service all your debt payments, just meaning you need to be able to afford the loan. You need to have no bankruptcies, judgments, or foreclosures in the last 3 years, no collections or open tax liens. You need to be current on any government loans, minimum of 3 years in business, and you need all of the business owners that have at least 20% stake in the business to participate on the loan. There are no allowances for sole proprietorships either, so it needs to be an incorporated business. So the next type of loan that you have an option for is the unsecured loan. Now this one is good because it has a lower credit score requirement. You can have as little as a 550 credit score and qualify for an unsecured loan. And it does go up to $2 million in funding. It is based on up to 10% of your gross revenue. The benefits of this particular product is that rates start as low as 1.18, which is different than a regular interest rate. It's actually a factor of the actual amount that is being lended. So for example, for every $10,000 that is borrowed, the flat fee interest payment would be $1,800 at a 1.18 factor. So it is a multiple of the total amount that you will be borrowing. It is pretty quick and simple paperwork. It's very minimal. The terms on this particular product are usually between 5 months all the way up to 21 months. You can opt for either weekly or daily payments. There is a payoff discount, no prepayment penalty, and it does not report to your personal credit report at all. Now, the minimum credit score that's required is a 550 credit score. There are some special programs with special incentives and rates for people that have at least a 650 or 700 plus credit score. You need to be in business for at least 1 year with a minimum of 150,000 in gross revenue. You can opt for either a first, second, or third position in terms of funding. You also must be current on your rent or your mortgage. And if you have any liens, they can be up to $200,000. They just need to be on a payment plan. So that is your unsecured loan. So let's talk about your last option, which is a merchant cash advance. This particular product is a good solution for people that maybe may have a little bit of a challenge credit or do not want to have to provide as much documentation as they would with a term or uh, a SBA loan. It also does not require for you to be in business for as long as a term or an SBA loan. It actually is calculated based on 13% of your gross revenue. Some of the benefits, again, that 1.18 factor. It's quick and simple, easy, minimal paperwork. You can actually, how this merchant cash advance works is usually for people that do transactions through credit cards. So, perfect example would be a nail salon, chiropractic, um, a chiropractor, a restaurant, anything along those lines where people are paying in cash or paying using a credit card, they will actually advance you money based on the projected amount of credit card sales that you would be having within a particular month. So the beauty of this is that you have payback in a small percentage of your credit card sales. This can actually also be done for individuals that have uh, billing of particular invoices to companies and they want to advance a certain amount of the billables that are due under those invoices. That would actually qualify under this merchant cash advance umbrella as well. There is variable payback, so you can have the option for paying less on days that are slow for your business and more on busier days. The funding can take place within as little as 24 to 48 hours. It does not report on your personal credit report at all. Your funding amounts can range anywhere between $10,000 up to $2 million, with renewals extended based on uh, uh, I'm sorry, with renewals available after 50% of the amount is paid back. Um, there are special programs specifically for restaurants, retail stores, liquor stores, auto repair, healthcare, etc. If you're unsure about your industry, definitely feel free to reach out to us on that. The requirements, at least a 500 credit score. There are some special incentives for people with 650 and 700 scores. At least 1 year minimum in business, at least a minimum of 150,000 in gross revenue. It can actually help you to pay off any first or second position loans or advances that you currently have. You must be current on any rent or mortgage. Um, any liens that you may have up to $200,000 must be on a payment plan. And so that is basically it. So these are the general options that we have in terms of getting you a business loan. As you can see, we have a variety of different options to choose from. So what I would suggest would vary depending on the type of documentation that you can require, how fast you actually want to receive funding, and the amount of funding that you're looking for. In general, I recommend most of my clients to start with our Freedom Funding Program because, again, it is uh, with all of our loan products, there is absolutely no money out of pocket in order to apply. However, with this particular product, it also includes not only front end funding for you, but also helping you to build out your business credit profile as well. So definitely make sure to contact us directly at 1-800-767-0214. You can also visit us on our website at getyourcreditperfectnow.com. You can also shoot us an email at info@getyourcreditperfectnow.com. And we look forward to being of service to you. Feel free to reach out and we'll be happy to help. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.